Welcome, class of 2020. Can you believe that? 2020. Parents, think about this with me for a minute. 9 short months, we'll be out here on the stage in the football field handing out diplomas to your child. That's unbelievable.
Make sure you have tissues.
Make sure you have tissues, she said. No doubt, no doubt. It is going to be a short time. The senior year is a great year here at John Hardin, but it is a busy, busy year. Speaking of busy, we've got a busy agenda tonight. Several great speakers here. Very valuable information for you. We're going to move as quickly as we can. I greatly appreciate our help with the pizza. Teachers, thank you for being here tonight, giving up your time. Greatly appreciate. Can we give them a hand, please? At this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Harold, our first speaker of the evening.
Hello, I'm Susie Harold with VIP Fundraising, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about your fundraising. It takes a lot of money for the prom expenses, so we've come up with this fundraiser, and you're going to be selling butter braids. And what they are is a frozen pastry, and if you've never had them, they're absolutely delicious. I've made Bavarian cream fresh for you this afternoon and cinnamon for you to try a sample. When they come to you, however, they look like this. I don't know if you all can see that, because they are frozen. And what you do, you let them out 8 to 10 hours to rise like overnight, and then they triple in size to where they look like this. Each butter braid is $14, and of that $14, $5 comes back to the fundraising. So $5 of each butter braid will go back to your expenses for your prom. There are these choices of flavors. The only one that is not sweet is the 4 cheese and herb, and it comes with a marinara sauce. So it's like a garlic bread that you would eat with spaghetti. It's delicious. Then we have apple, blueberry and cream cheese, Bavarian cream, cinnamon, strawberry, and cream cheese. And then you also have a chance to sell cookie dough. It is chocolate chip cookie dough, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and triple chocolate cookie dough, and that is also frozen in the individual pieces. And they're $14 a piece. $5 goes back to your fundraiser for prom. When you take the orders, you will need to get the money at that time. So you're either going to get cash or checks. They can write checks, but they need to be written to John Hardin High School, and all that is on this form if you have one to look at. The orders and the money are due to Ms. Filer on Monday, September 9th. She will need both of those on Monday, September 9th. And the delivery date will be Thursday, September 27th at 2 o'clock in the main entry. And remember, they will be frozen, so you'll need to get them in the freezer or to people, the people that bought them right away. The form is pretty straightforward. To put your name on it first and your phone number, people's names when you take their order. When you finish your order, if you will total them up at the bottom, that will help Ms. Filer when she has to place the order. Your goal is to sell 10 items. Does anybody have any questions? Ms. Filer, is there anything else? No? Do you have any questions about them? They're delicious. Please come try them. I made them. I think they're still a little warm. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Hi. Okay. Hi, I'm Miss Moore, and I'm one of the senior English teachers. We've got 2 more senior English teachers over there tonight. I'm going to talk really quickly about work ethics certification. It is a district-wide initiative, so all seniors in all 3 high schools do it. It's a really great opportunity we have here in Hardin County. There are 8 standards. You can see them on yellow posters throughout the school district, but you can also find them on the district webpage. And there are things to help prepare students to transition to the workforce and also for college success. And in their senior English classes, we go over the 8 standards, and then there are several components that they do. They write a college essay, they do an academic resume, they get references, and then at the end of this first 12 weeks, if your student is in senior English right now, they'll apply for the work ethics certification, and then in the spring, If they get a high enough score in the application, they'll come in for an interview, and community members come in and run the interviews, and based on the interview and their application, they can receive the work ethic certification. And the immediate response to that is they get to wear cords at graduation, so that's kind of cool. They get to go to a job fair at the end of the school year. We bus them over to EC3, and then ultimately the work ethic certification helps them get jobs in our community. So if you have the work ethic certification, there are several work ethic certification industries. Hardin Memorial is one of them, obviously Hardin County Schools, and it will help your child get interviews by having that work ethic certification. So it's a really great program. If you have any questions, feel free to ask myself or Ms. Pleasant or Ms. Field is somewhere around here. We're all senior English teachers, and we'd be more than happy to answer your questions.
I'm Jennifer Cobb. I am the College and Career Readiness Coach, and so what I have spent the first few weeks of school doing is combing through your child's transcripts, all 195 seniors that we have, and making sure that they are either college or career ready. So what I have been doing is making sure that your child has met benchmark on the ACT. That's a huge goal that we have for your child. And then the next thing is that they are either career ready if they're not college ready, and it's great to be both. What I need from you, though, is I'm going to give you the Remind code, so you can go ahead and get your cell phones out if you would like to. This is geared directly towards students, but every time that I get a college visiting John Hardin, every time that I get every time that I get a college visiting, a scholarship that I'm notified of, anything that has to do with college or career readiness, I immediately text it out to them. But we know how that goes. Okay, so sometimes they forget, and they will forget to sign up for the opportunities, and they'll miss it. So I really want you all to sign up as well. So if you just text the @ symbol JH2020 CCR to the number 81010. So if you go ahead and do that, I've already sent probably 10 to 12 text messages out because things are already rolling, okay? But if you were at open house, I definitely said that my goal is to get your child out of your basement. So that's my goal, okay? So college, career, or military ready, I'm your girl. All right, thank you. Now I'm going to introduce Miss Tammy Filer. She is the senior sponsor along with Miss Teresa Punjak.
Okay, good evening. My name is Teresa Punjak. I'm one of the senior sponsors this year, along with Ms. Tammy Filer. So we have lots of things going on this year. We have a senior class Remind notification. If you guys sign up for this notification, then you're going to get all the reminds for everything that's happening. Class, senior pictures, drapes, trips, everything that's going on, you're going to get a reminder for it. So we want to make sure that you sign up for this. Okay, we have a fundraiser for the rewards from Kroger. So if you register online at Kroger, this website, then once you register the rewards card, then we're going to get monies toward for our senior trip and our prom. Okay, all the butter braids, make sure that we have the money back by 3:30 on September 9th, and then orders are going to be picked up the 27th of September. Okay, our spirit wear orders are going to be taken the week of September 16th to the 20th. The orders will be taken in the office by Ms. Filer. And then we have drape and tux portraits on these dates, so you'll get upcoming dates. You'll get all the Remind notifications on the Remind. Our prom is Saturday, April 25th, so we need to make sure we have decorations and everything done within those dates. Our senior trip this year is to Atlanta, Georgia, instead of Chicago. We're going to go May 7th to the 9th. Information on the trip is going to be available after October 1st, and there'll be a deposit due by November 1st. And these are all the additional senior expenses that we have that's going to come up this year. And if you sign up the Remind, you'll get all these notifications.
If you did not pick up an information sheet when you walked in, please make sure you grab one before you leave. That sheet has all the dates that we've talked about, and we stay with those dates unless we have a snow day or something. Butter braids is very important to us. Prom normally costs about $10,000 to put on, so the more money we raise, the less we have to charge. So please go out and try to sell as much as you can. Kroger Cares was the other fundraiser we mentioned. This is easy money. You just sign up and we get a portion of everything that you spend at Kroger's. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me or Ms. Punjak.
Also wanted to mention Miss Field. Is she over here taking pictures of everyone? She will be here on Tuesdays, starting the Tuesday after Labor Day, in room 313 to assist any senior in completing college applications, scholarship applications, anything they may need help with, college essay, any of those things. She's a senior English teacher and has put one student into college already and working on her second. So she is a wealth of knowledge, and we appreciate her doing that for us. I'm now going to turn it over to Miss Lauren Sims at ECTC. If your student is in a dual credit class, this is who they have spoken with, and then she'll talk about dual credit, scholarship, and then also a little bit about ECTC if your student chooses to go there next year.
What's the trick for this? Hold it still. Yeah. I must have lost it. All right. Hello. My name's Lauren Sims. I'm the dual credit coordinator at ECTC, and I also have Laura Stover back here in the corner. She's our dual credit advisor, so both of us will be points of contact for your student if they are enrolling in dual credit classes. I did come and visit a couple weeks ago, all of the first trimester dual credit classes here, talked to them about the requirements, what they need to complete to get into the dual credit class, and also sent home information packets and enrollment verification forms with them. So if your student is in a dual credit class, you have questions, maybe you didn't get the information, I know it doesn't always make it to you, feel free to stop and see us and we can answer any questions you may have. So dual credit's a great opportunity. Students can earn college credit and high school credit at the same time. It's a discounted rate. These students pay 1/3 of our regular tuition rate. So a class that would normally cost a little over $600 costs these students $174. So it's a really good deal, but students do need to understand that this is starting their college transcript. So we want to be sure they're successful, they do well, they understand the expectations. Okay, there we go. So, because we want this to be a positive experience for them and a good mark on their transcript, because it does follow them, and we want to be sure that they understand that. So again, very affordable. Students are eligible for 2 dual credit scholarships while they're in high school. So that means they get 2 dual credit classes for free, but there are steps they need to take to be sure they get those free classes. They have to log in and set scholarship preferences, probably sometime in September when Ms. Graziano starts working with them, but they log into Kia's website, set preferences to say where and when they want to use their dual credit scholarships. If they don't complete that piece, counselors can't do it for them, we can't do it for them, they have to log in and do that. If they don't do it, we don't ever get the scholarship information and cannot apply scholarships to their account. So we want to be sure that they know that that's something they have to complete to be able to get those free classes so they don't miss out on that opportunity. Dual credit billing, I know a lot of parents usually have questions about that. It's a great deal, but it does take a lot of manual adjustment on our part. So we have to go in and adjust that tuition down to the discounted rate for every student. And then when scholarship information comes in, usually beginning of October, we have to apply those as well. So trimesters make that even a little more muddy. So it does take us a while to get a correct adjusted bill. Once we get students batch enrolled in their classes that are taking place here at the high school, we'll start that process, but they may, if they are checking their student accounts, and we hope that they are, see a crazy number out there that is not the correct bill yet. It's just because we haven't had a chance to adjust it. So it will probably be late October, mid-October before you see a correct bill. When that time comes, we will mail bills out to dual credit students, so just watch for those. Our hope is that that will include both first and second trimester dual credit classes, because those are both fall semester classes for us. So the mail bill is what you want to watch for. Students may get e-bills in the meantime. They may even get an automated call. That's something that this one time you can disregard for now until you get the mail bill. Let's see, our recruitment people couldn't be here tonight, but Laura and I did bring information for them as well, so just general information on ECTC, the programs we offer. We've got many programs that get students ready to enter the workforce. We've also got transfer programs for students that are interested in starting the first part of a 4-year degree and then transferring on. So we've got information over here at our back table about all that. And then, benefits, of course, very affordable, close to home for those that might not be ready to take a leap and move out yet. And then we do have events where our recruitment folks team up with other advisors on campus and come out to the high schools in the spring semester. They come out, sit down with your students, hold an advising session, and enroll them here at the high school in their first semester ECTC classes. So we call those our Dream Team events, and we'll be working with the counselors here on those as we get closer to that time. But that's all I have. If you have questions about dual credit, ECTC in general, please stop and see us over here. And then I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Furness. She is with our Educational Opportunity Center.
Good evening, seniors, parents, family. My name is Sarah Furness. I am an academic counselor with the TRIO Educational Opportunity Center. We are a federally funded grant program through the U.S. Department of Education. Our whole purpose, the whole reason why I have a job, is to increase the number of people who enroll into post-secondary education. Whether that's at ECTC, UK, EKU, wherever your student wants to go, I'm more than happy to help them in that journey. We work with folks on anything from, what school should I apply for? How do I apply for financial aid? What scholarship should I apply for? So there's a lot of overlap in our services and Ms. Cobb's, but I just wanted to introduce myself, and if you guys would like more information, I'll be right over here, the table with the gray tablecloth. So thank you.
All right, I am Tara Graziano. For those of you who don't know me, we have another counselor, Mr. Chad Lewis, who is, there he is over there. He is your child's counselor if their last name is K through Z. I'm your child's counselor if their last name is A through J. And then we also have Miss Carla Hardin. She keeps us straight there in the office. She is your first point of contact when you walk in, and your student's first point of contact. She handles all transcripts and kind of the first face that they see for anything that they may need us for. We'll talk about transcripts more in a moment here. This is a big year for your student. I have a senior this year as well, and it's a lot. It's already a lot. I know you're probably already feeling it. They're already feeling it. UK's application is already open, been open for 3 weeks. Students have been applying. They're rolling. It's time to go. The FAFSA opens on October 1st, and they're going to need your help, and I appreciate all you being here supporting them because it's a tough year. There's a lot going on, and they're going to need your support throughout this year. What have we done so far? Mr. Lewis and I, at the end of last year, during third trimester, met with each of your students during Focus 40 time to make sure that their transcripts were accurate, to make sure that they had registered for the right classes, and to make sure that if they didn't already have a plan started, that they had formulated a bit of a plan for what they were going to do after graduation. This year, we've been to all of the senior English classes and met with those who aren't in an English right now just to firm up those plans and make sure that everyone's still on track, that they're into senior English, an A and a B, that they're all in a math. If there's any other classes that they haven't had, that they are in those. And you received a copy of that. You received your student's transcript and then also the senior transcript review. At the top of that, your student wrote in there how they wanted their name on their diploma. We encouraged most of them to put their first name, middle, and last. That is, what you see there is how it will appear. Unless you send us an email, I wouldn't say you can mention it to us right now, but that is not gonna, we're not gonna remember that. But if you send that to us in an email that needs to be something different than what's on there, then we can certainly get that changed. This is all the ways that information is pushed out there. Ms. Cobb just had you put in the Remind 101. We also have our school website, and under Guidance Office is where the Guidance Glimpse is. Ms. Hardin updates that weekly for us as scholarships start coming in, and information about college visits, as well as scholarship sites are on there for your students to already start looking through and seeing if any of those pertain to them. If your student anticipates playing any sport or doing an activity after high school, then they need to make sure that they have registered on either or both the NAIA and NCAA Clearinghouse website. Mr. Lewis gets an email as when students do that, and it lets him know to upload the student's transcript, and he has several then different things that he does. But once you have, once your child has gone on and created that and paid the fee, then it sends him an email to let him know. The college fair this year is Monday, September 16th from 5:30 to 7:30 at EC3. Almost every college in the state of Kentucky, as well as the borders of Indiana, Hanover is usually there, and a few in Tennessee. It will be the admissions counselors at those schools that are there to ask any questions that you may have. I've already told our students, dress up, look nice, firm handshake as they're meeting these people and introducing themselves. Look the people in the eye, because these are the people that are going to see your name again as you have submitted your application and or your scholarship application. So you want them to remember you as that comes through. That evening, there will be 2 financial aid workshops. Tony Wiley, she's over here. I thought I saw you over here. She is going to speak next. She is from Kia, and she is going to discuss many parts of college, but she will be there to discuss in detail that evening the financial aid piece of that. I'll let her talk about this in more detail, but this is the FAFSA document is something you cannot even complete. It does not open up, it does not roll over to the new year until October 1st of 2019. Keys money, and you all know this, I didn't know this until I had a high school kid, but your Keys money, you all get a letter in the mail every summer. We haven't gotten one for junior year yet, but at the end of your child's freshman year, at the end of their sophomore year, a letter came in the mail, and it told you how much money was awarded based on your student's GPA and ACT score. In that letter, it says, make sure that you have signed up and that you have registered and logged in to your Keys account. And the directions are on there, and the website is on there for you to do that. So you need to make sure that you have done that. And the junior letter from last year, it should be arriving, I'm guessing, any day now. Scholarships, there are many types, obviously. We can only advertise the scholarships that come through our office, which are mostly local scholarships. The individual colleges have scholarships that are also available to students. We get scholarships, local scholarships. There's one from Hardin County Water District number 2. So if that is where you would get your water from, then that would be one that your student is eligible for. There's one from Bluegrass Cellular. So if that is your cell phone carrier, then that would be one that you are eligible for. So it is important that you and or your student looks at that guidance glimpse weekly to see which ones are eligible, which ones you or your student can apply for. Colleges are looking at, obviously, GPA and ACT. ACT kind of rules the world. As much as we don't want it to, it is a test. It is a 4-hour test on a Saturday morning for most students, and it determines a lot of their future. So if your student has not taken the test again since they took it here during their junior year, I highly encourage them to do so, to make college readiness benchmarks or to boost their score into the scholarship range for individual colleges. The ACT, at this point, there is a test in September, but it is the late fee period. So the ACT is $52. The late fee is $40. So at this point, you can still register for the September test, but it is the late fee, so that would be $92 at this point. The next test after that is the October 26th test, and we are still in the regular sign-up period for that. Beyond that date, it is getting too late, really, for seniors to need to take the ACT. December 1 is the early decision deadline, and a lot of deadlines for colleges to get their applications in for scholarship purposes at that point. Transcripts, I said Ms. Hardin handles all of our parchment. Last year, if you came to the junior parent night, you received a copy of the Getting In book as well as your student's parchment code. And at that, there was directions on there for them to go in and sign up and create a username and password so that they could be in charge of sending their transcripts wherever they needed to. Those who didn't come to the junior parent night, we had those Getting In books and the parchment codes delivered to every student here and at EC3, wherever they were. We had them delivered, and so they all have their code. If they have lost that code, they can grovel at Ms. Hardin's feet via email. It is a kind of a lengthy process for her to get the codes back at this point. So they would need to send her an email or come see her. Sometimes it gets a little crazy at the beginning of the day, so towards the middle of the day, or send her an email to get their code back to get that parchment set up so that they can get their transcripts sent as they need it to. The $3 does not occur until August following their senior year. So everything is free up through August of, I guess that would be 2020. And at that point, if they change colleges or if they need their transcripts sent anywhere else, it's a $3 fee on parchment. Okay, I am going to, at this point, hand over to Ms. Tony Wiley, for our KIA representative, and at the end, we will take any questions and answers, question and answer session from you. Thank you.
Okay, hello. So, you all have seen a lot of information on the screen. Does it feel like a lot? It can, and our students a lot of times can be so stressed during their senior year. Parents can be stressed during the senior year. But what I would like everybody to do is just breathe, okay? What we like to do at KIA, not the car company, but Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, we're the folks that send out the letters about the KEYS money and the dual credit scholarships and those things going on. What we really hope that you can do during the senior year is lay a great foundation. Your students may feel like they need to know all the answers. What am I going to be? What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to pay for it? There's a lot of heavy questions on their shoulders. But how many times do you think a college student may change their mind? Like 3 to 5 times. Our son, 6 years, talked about psychology. 6 years, everything we looked at. Second week into college, he hated it, and he never looked back. So what we want to do is just really try to meet all the deadlines so that when they change their mind, they can still get what they want. That's the biggest goal here. Now, a few years ago, everything was spread out over the whole year for seniors, but now the college portion is really crammed into the fall. So there are 3 things that need to happen in the fall. And the first part is when the colleges are saying hello to your students. They want to get your attention. That's the college fair. It is so important to go to that. We're going to have probably 40 colleges over at EC3 on September 16th, 2 hours, and that is a great time to take that Getting In book, meet with each of the people there. It beats that long drive to each of the colleges. You can narrow down a lot just at the college fair. Other things you can ask at the college fair: when is a good time to visit? Can I get my application fee waived? And by the way, all of our community colleges do not charge to apply to them. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, so the college fairs, when they're trying to get your attention. Then before Thanksgiving, we really encourage students to apply to at least 3 colleges. Their dream school, probably a community college, and maybe a big university or a private college. But throw those fishing lines out there. You're not going to know what the price is, and yeah, bless you, and what could happen until they actually apply. Now, I met with a student in March one year who had a great ACT and would have had an automatic scholarship, automatic, at EKU. But their deadline was December 1st. He did not apply till March, so he has to wait a whole year before he can get that scholarship. Applying to the schools does not commit your students to have to go there. It just continues that conversation. Now, the piece in between the colleges saying hello and your students saying hello back by applying is what we call doing the FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid. And it can be a challenging process, but I will tell you it is so much better than it used to be. And I know because I have a son who went to college, his college closed. We had to do everything you're doing this year in a short few weeks when you had to switch colleges. And it was when they were changing things and we got locked out of the FAFSA. So I know how frustrating that can be. But let me tell you how nice it is now. When you do the FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid, how many of you all shop online? Amazon, iTunes, anything you do, Walgreens, Walmart, we can do a lot of things online. What are the 2 things you have to get into that account? Username and password. And if you forget either of those, they've built in security questions or your phone so that you can get a code and get right back in. Our federal government has done that now too. Your students could actually do the FAFSA on their phone. So I'm going to be coming to the school along with Sarah, and some other people will be here to help out, and we can help you do the FAFSA. I'm going to be here October, I think, 24th from 1 to 6. Miss Carla Hardin is going to have a sign-up sheet, and you can begin signing up for that time now if you want. If you want to do it on your own, October 1st, you can come in and we can scan it just to double check for errors. But the nice thing about with the FAFSA, it is electronic now, and you make an ID and your student makes an ID, and when you get to the part about how much money do you make, you can link right over to the IRS, a couple of clicks, and boom, transfer all the information. It takes a lot of the guesswork out, and it makes it so simple. Now, at the college fair, I'm going to be giving 2 sessions where we really get into the weeds on how to find money. And we talk about the FAFSA, and we talk about scholarships and different grants and things like that. But I do want you to know, even if your student does not receive any money by doing the FAFSA, we have money and scholarships now that click in if you don't get any of the federal money. But the only way we can give you that money is by finding out you did not get the other. So you may think, We never got anything before for any of our other children, but there's new stuff out there to help you. So I'm going to show you the publications that I have over here, and I know a lot of you got them, and a lot of you may have got them last year, but just to kind of go over it, the College Circuit is one of the easiest to read publications, and if you don't know what CAP, KTG, Pell, and SEOG are, free money, free money, free money. Parents, there's a glossary section in the back that explains all that. I used to work at a college, and I know sometimes it sounds like they speak a foreign language. That glossary section helps. But in this book, in the middle, where the staples are, goes over the KEYS money. And basically, your students have earned money for each year of high school beginning in 9th grade. If they have a C+ average for the whole year, they would get $125 all the way up to $500. They get one amount for each year. They get one amount for their highest ACT. When they graduate, we add it all together, and that's how much they get each year of college. Now let's just say your student doesn't want to go to college. We have a new thing right now. If your student wants to go into an approved apprentice program, they can actually get their KEYS money to go toward uniform, tools, travel expenses. There's a whole lot more going on with the KEYS money than what we used to have. If you look 2 pages before that, you will see some of the grant money that we can find out instantly when you do the FAFSA. As soon as you hit the submit, it will pop up and tell you, will your student receive any of the federal Pell Grant? That money is up to over $6,000. Now your student might get $1,000, $3,000, or all of it. The great thing about the Pell is it's good anywhere in the US, and it does not run out. Now, what we know about the federal Pell, if we get any of that, then on the next page is the CAP grant. That one is $2,000, and it's a state grant. So the good news about it is if you get any of the Pell, you get all of the $2,000. The bad news is it has to be used here in Kentucky. If you go somewhere else, it won't go with you. All right? And the other thing is it could run out, but this is the first year in my 15 years of college that it did not run out. So that's a great thing. Now, you could be like my family and 2 adults working 1 child. My son did not get any of the Pell, which means he did not get any of the CAP. But your family could make a lot more than my family and still get the one below the CAP called the KTG. That is the Kentucky Tuition Grant. It is a $3,000 grant to help your student go to private colleges. So when I say you need to throw out those fishing lines, you may be surprised that a private college could actually cost less than a public university, or sometimes even than the local community college. You just don't know till you start finding out. And we talk a lot more about the money during the financial aid workshop at the college fair. But in this book, I do want to show one more thing. If you look down to the second from the bottom on the Kentucky side, the Work Ready Scholarship. This is new to our state. And while your students are in high school, and if you have younger students, 9th grade or older, they are eligible to receive 2 Work Ready Scholarship. That's a dual credit scholarship in a technical field. They can have 2 of those free each year of high school. But here's the cool thing. After high school, if they want to pursue that associate degree or a diploma or a certificate, if they do not get the federal Pell Grant, this Work Ready will kick in and pay the difference, up to almost $4,000. But we cannot give that unless we know you did not get the federal Pell. So there's a lot of exciting things going on. All right, the Getting In book, Ms. Tara said that they were given out last spring to the juniors. I know a lot of you picked them up. We've got extras at this in the office. This book has a lot of great information. So if you look inside, It's got the upcoming ACT and SAT dates listed on page 7, so that's pretty important. It has, on page 18, it describes what makes a student dependent or independent. So I'm just going to touch on that real quickly. Even if you are not going to pay, parents, if you are not going to pay for your student's college, you still have to do the FAFSA. Your students will be considered dependent until they are active military, 24, married, or have a child of their own that they provide the care for. Now, in our family, we did not pay for our son's tuition. We did a lot of other things, though, which you may be doing, like feeding them, housing them, helping with transportation and insurance. All those things count. But this is going to say that the FAFSA is going to require the parental information. Now, who we don't need the parental information on would be somebody that already has a child, or if they are in legal guardianship. Now, that is not custody like a divorce. That is where parents' rights have been removed and someone else is the guardian. We never, ever, ever need the financial information of the grandparents unless the grandparents have legally adopted the children. If the child is in foster care, they are also considered independent and we would only use their information. That's all explained in here. And there are some benefits for somebody that's been in foster care, and that's also laid out in here, and I can talk about it over at the table. But in the back, it gives a snapshot page of every college and the programs that they offer. And I know we know our big schools, and we know what our local community college, but we actually have over 70 brands of colleges and universities in our state, just in Kentucky alone. We've got a lot of choices. So this is a great book to hang on to. I'm going to be over here if you have any questions, but I'll be doing the In the Weeds presentation on financial aid at the college fair, so I hope to see you there. Thanks.
All right, I want to thank all of our presenters for being here this evening and making themselves available at the end of tonight as well. I know that our representative from the National Guard got around to speak to most of you individually, but if you still have questions, she has information and she is set up at the corner of the cafeteria there as well. Does anyone have any questions for the good of the group, as we say, that everyone could benefit from? All right, if you have any individual questions, we will be around to answer those. I'm going to hand back over to Mr. Wells here to wrap us up.
We are very lucky at John Hardin. We have the best counselors in the state of Kentucky. Can we give Ms. Graziano and Coach Lewis a hand? Appreciate all they do. Before you leave tonight, don't leave with any questions. First of all, be sure and ask, but please do me a big favor. We have a ton of pizza and cookies left over here. Please help me get rid of that before you leave tonight. Have a great evening. Stop and ask us questions if you have any.